Hey there, my beautiful overachieving business mamas. Welcome to the Moxie movement, where we're tearing down myths and propelling women like you to success, both in business and at home. I'm Sarah Greener, your guide on this journey, because I've walked this tightrope too. And together, we're here to help redefine what success looks like. Dive in for real talk, actionable steps, and a community that gets the hustle of juggling motherhood, wife life, and that entrepreneurial drive. It's time for a little Moxie. Hey, I'm sure you've all noticed it's looking a little bit different in my world right now. And if you're new around here and you want to see just how different, head on over to some of the socials, either on Instagram or Facebook, and scroll back a little bit and you will see just how much it's changed. We've rebranded to bring this much more in line with who I am and the mission I want to achieve. And one of the biggest things to figure out on this journey was, what do I want to call this? And we came up with Moxie because it really aligns not only with who I am, but with who I think you are as well. Now, what is Moxie? Let's talk a little bit and unpack, what does Moxie actually mean? When I was thinking about how am I going to talk to this shift I want to make, we were trying to figure out what my vision should be for this business journey that I'm on. When it comes to our boat and here in the Bay of Islands, we're really clear about what we're about and what we're going to achieve. And I always say it takes a little while to find that space and find that vision. And I've been doing a fair bit of work on that over the last few years. And finally this year, I found the impact that I wanted to make. And what unstuck me was I went from thinking about it in terms of how much money do I want to make, which just felt clunky and I could never really make progress or get aligned with it, to how much impact do I want to make. And I was incredibly lucky to have a guy called Clay Moffat in my world, and I did a program with him earlier in the year, and he kept saying, what's going to be this big mission? What's your big why? What are you achieving with this program that you're building, and why does it matter? And I was like, oh, Johnny's got this health condition and I want to retire him and I want us to be able to go traveling and all these things that were really close to me. And he's, no, why does it matter? He's like, those things could all happen in 1,000 different ways. You don't need to have this big business or this big journey for that to happen. And I was like, it's really about the impact. It's really about the fact that when I work with these women in business, that it doesn't just make their lives better. It makes their families, for obvious reasons, better, but it also makes their team's lives better and their team's families' lives better. And it ripples out from there. It makes this huge impact across everything that they do. And they share that with everyone they come in contact with, and it just ripples out from there. I truly believe that if we can have thriving business owners that run thriving businesses, we can also have thriving communities throughout our towns, our country, our countries across the world. I really think it is something that can make such a huge difference. And he's, we'll do that then. And I was like, wow, that feels really big and scary and ridiculous. What else matters? And I'm like, it still feels ridiculous to me in 2023 that I'm talking with women that are still having to carry the second shift. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do about that though? And it still feels ridiculous to me that we are underrepresented in all the positive statistics in business. We still, if you're in a startup position and you're looking for investment and funding, you're still having to scrap for the scraps. If you're looking for capital in a normal business, you are still fighting for the scraps. Like, you just don't get what you deserve. And I am in the position of having been through some of that journey to this point. And what I really want to do, now that I've got the door open and I'm starting to see that the result of all this work, I want to stick my foot in the damn door and I want to drag as many women through as possible. And Clay said, how many women? And I went, I don't know. He said, tell me the number. What's the number? And I was like, I don't know. I feel like if we could get 100,000 women to have lives where the second shift was shared, they co-parented like bosses at home, and they made at least 6 figures of profit and at least 6 figures of a salary all at the same time, that would be a game changer. And he's, okay, cool. So we're going to bring 100,000 women through this journey. What are we going to call it? And that's where Moxie came from. And Moxie is there because you don't just need the tactical stuff and the know-how in your business and in your life. You also need something else, something that is sometimes hard to put your finger on. And so I went looking for what was a word that encompassed all that, and it was so hard to find. It was like the language that we use today, I just couldn't find the word that really encompassed what I meant. So I started looking in odd places. We go to a music festival every year called Splore, and I was like, that is such a great word. Where the hell did Splore come from? And so there's these odd places, these odd dictionaries online where you can find these wonderful and weird but incredibly descriptive words. And I was looking for this word that really encompassed all that I want for women in business. And we found Moxie. And so the Urban Dictionary says that Moxie is the self-possessed confidence, an attitude of fearlessness in everyday circumstances, and the ability to stand alone in favour of an unpopular opinion with a casual demeanour. It means that you have a force of character, determination, and nerve. It means that you've got a courageous spirit. And I was like, awesome. That is totally what we need to not just navigate our businesses, but also to navigate the whole life stuff. Sometimes I feel like I need more courage being a mother than I do anything else. Because, honestly, it's some of the scariest and most fulfilling things I've done is being a mum. And that was before my daughter convinced me that diving with sharks was a good idea. Being a mum requires all of that Moxie as well. And then you translate that into business and you need that there too. And so when I dug a little deeper, Moxie actually has 3 definitions. It's all that beautiful courage and determination to stand alone, to have an unpopular opinion and stand strongly for it and do it anyway. It also means to have that beautiful energy and that beautiful pep. And for you, I want you to thrive. I want you to have that energy. I want you to get out of bed every day going, I freaking can't wait to get started. I'm going to go and be an epic mum, a beautiful soul of a wife, and an amazing businesswoman. And I want you to have energy to do it because God, sometimes this can be so tiring. And so I want you to do it with all the beautiful energy and pep that Moxie stands for. And it also stands for having the know-how. It also stands for knowing exactly how to do things and when to do them. And that encompasses everything that we need on this journey as businesswomen, as wives, as mothers, as women in this world in 2023. We need to have all the energy, the pep. We need to have all the courage and determination, and we also need to have the know-how. And so the Moxie movement was born because the Moxie movement is about taking the script that I think really, let's be honest, sucks in 2023. It's looking at those stats that say, as a woman, you're way more likely to be doing all the free work at home. It's looking at the stats that say, and while you're doing all that free work, you're not going to be getting paid your worth in your business. And we're flipping it on its head. And we're becoming the glorious exceptions to those statistics. And as we do it, we're going to stick our foot in the door and pull as many women through. So that's why Moxie. And that's what Moxie is. And I hope that you will come along on this journey with me, because I would love for my daughter and for your daughter and for any other little girls to be able to look at what we've achieved and think, I can do that too. And to be able to do it soon. Because if we're still talking in 2023 about the same load that women had in 1989 when it comes to the shifts at home, we need to do something, and we need to do it now. And I think if 100,000 of us can do this, I think we can change anything. And for me, that legacy means more than anything else I could do. Yeah, it'll be nice to retire, Johnny. Yeah, It'll be nice to go traveling together, but this is the bit that I think will make a change, not just for me, not just for the people I know, and not just for my clients, but for all of you, women in business who also want to have their families thrive alongside them. I hope you stay with me on this journey, because we're going to share everything we can on this journey with you so that you can get there faster and quicker than I did. Come along with us. Let's be the glorious exceptions.